It's round number 4 of the season already. As we move back across the ocean, it is time for another Turn 200 first, the Catalan Grand Prix, presented by Selmants. Art from the historic layout of Barcelona. It is around the turn here for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series on Turn 200.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Catalan Grand Prix presented by Selmants. Art It's the GoSquadra Formula Super Series here on Turn 200. My name is Tommy Cook. Matt Williamson will be along here in just one moment. It's round number 4, and it's the debut of Barcelona, the Catalonia circuit, host to Formula One Grand Prix of Spain. And we're going with the historic layout here, so it cuts out a lot of the mumbo-jumbo towards the end of this very recognizable from the abstract track. The current Grand Prix layout has a lot of extra stuff there at the end, but these are just the flat, round corners, and to showcase it all, of course, we have the short lap from Matt Short.
Matthew Short, test driver for FSS. We are here for round 4 at Circuit de Catalunya. So we're going to be heading down the straight here. You want to keep an eye on that left wall. See that orange? Brake there, down to 3rd for turn 1. Keep it in 3rd for T2. Once we get to turn 3, you're going to want to bring it up to 4th. Careful going here through turn 3. You're going to want to balance that throttle in your steering or else the rear end will come out. So now we're heading down to turn 4. I prefer a wider line here. I just feel like you carry more speed and you get a better exit. As you're exiting here in turn 4, you're going to be coming to turn 5. It is a downhill braking zone, so you're going to be braking earlier than you think. Bring it down to 2nd. And as soon as you feel like the car is straight, that's when you fully gun it. This is turn 6, completely flat out, not even a corner. We're in the 7th and 8th complex, down to 3rd. Hit that left, but on the right here, we got that sausage curve. You have to be careful. It will kill you. Turn 9 here. You got to hit a little bit of the brake on entry just to get that rear end turned out. If you go too far over that curve, it will be an off track. Brake for T10 right at that post before the 50-meter board, down to 3rd. This is another turn where you got to kind of dance with the car here, as you can see me, between the throttle and the steering. Turn 12, you got to watch for this sausage. As soon as you get past that, that's when you can start feeding it throttle. Turn 13 is going to be completely flat. It's still going to be tricky. You can lose it here. And turn 14, you're going to have to lift and give it a little bit of brake to make it work, or else you'll understeer. Again, if you go too far, you will get an off track. And that is a lap of Catalunya.
Thank you very much, Matt. And as funny as it sounds in the abstract, yes, if you do hit the sausage curb, it will kill you. So that is definitely great advice to pass along to the drivers here tonight. Don't do that here at Catalunya. Tonight's coverage of the Catalan Grand Prix, presented by J. Selmants Artwork, is presented by J. Selmants Motorsports Arts, based in Stowe, Ohio. This is Joey Selmants' art. You can see it up on screen here right now. It's at least some of the sampling that he has provided. Hand-drawn racing artwork for motorsports enthusiasts, drivers, and teams all across the globe. It all looks fantastic. You can contact Joey or see his latest artwork and then contact him via his Instagram page, at JSellArt. That is at the letter J, S-E-L-A-R-T. Coverage tonight is also provided by 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoe and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. And GoSquadra, the title sponsor of the Formula Super Series. GoSquadra's mission is to enhance race team management across all sim racing platforms. GoSquadra will connect drivers with teams, manage race events, create and edit stint schedules, enable easy stint adjustments on the fly during a live race, and much more. Coming soon, head over to GoSquadra.com. So we welcome you in now proper for the first time here to Barcelona, Catalunya, here in the historic 95 layout. Matt Williamson, very weird. If you look at the track map, this is one of the most identifiable tracks of all time. I don't know. It kind of looks like a Pokemon, but don't ask me which one because I am not a Pokemon guy. But just in the abstract, that's what it looks like. But practice has been interesting. This track race is very interesting as well.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, if it really doesn't even matter what track we go to at this point. I mean, if you just look at the history of the last 3 weeks, the races have just been interesting in general. So you know that that's going to be the case. But then you add in a big long straight. The first 3-turn complex is just gonna be treacherous. I mean, that's really all I can say. With the restarts the starts have already been crazy this season. This one is not getting any easier. Yeah, we are in for some great racing here tonight, though. That's really all we can say.
Absolutely, we're in for some great racing here. Titus Sherlock, not the fastest driver in qualifying here, shockingly enough. It is Jaude Gregorio, who has provisionally nabbed the pole here, although we do have 2 minutes left to go in qualifying. No points graphic for this week, but, I mean, rest assured, Titus Sherlock has like a 100-point lead. I think it's 103 points back to Jaude Gregorio, who's now climbed his way to second in the point standings. So, I mean, Titus has this well in hand. We'll see if, indeed, he's in it for the long haul, the entire season, going to run for the championship. But we've got Barcelona tonight. We're off for a week, and then we are back to Aragon next week, or in 2 weeks. I don't know why. I literally just said we had an off week. But that is where we'll be in 2 weeks. So with that in mind, hello to Dan Miglin and Ashton Crowder, both hanging out with us in the chat. Dan Miglin watching from the toilets. I mean, wherever you watch this from is fine. Sometimes we just don't need to know where you are. But you do you. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks to Ashton Crowder as well for hanging out with us. We got a couple new faces here tonight. One driver you won't be seeing anymore is Max Taylor. He's been removed from the league after his intentional wreck last week. But we picked up 3 more drivers in the off week. Mia Swenson has joined the AM division. So has Oz Kinar and Nate Paluota. So 3 more drivers for the AM division here, sponsored by 4D Racewear. And that will certainly make things interesting. There has been a change in the AM Championship standings as well. Nick Fleury, who had just been getting beat by a position or two every race by Cody Claiborne the first 2 weeks. Problems very early for Cody Claiborne last week. Nick Fleury capitalized, got a top 10 finish, took top AM honors, and has taken the AM points lead headed into tonight, as we're just a few seconds away from getting on the starting grid here for tonight's sprint race from Barcelona, Catalunya, in the Catalan Grand Prix presented by J. Selmants Motorsports Arts. And with the pole position, it is the reigning series champion, Jaude Gregorio, who will lead the field down into turn number 1. Mitch Welker will line up to his outside. Titus Sherlock and Zach Buchanan, nice quality run for driver 40. He will start in 4th. Jeff Groff and Kevin Bonomi will start on row 3. Nate Siefker and Byron Daly on the 4th row. Christopher Hill and Sam McDougall will round out your top 10 starters. Camera Dance, Mia Swenson debuting in P12. Zach Flaum and Brett Hahn on row number 7. Kyle Allen, Matt Schlosser on row 8. Nick Fleury, Oz Kinar is on row number 9. And Christian Jasper, Dakota DeMay way back there on row number 10. Brian LaBarge, Cody Claiborne, Nick Goyette, Nate Paluota, JJ Wang, Matt Johnston, and Dave Patton in P27, the last driver to post the time. Jesse Lacey way back at 28th. I believe we'll have to start from the pits for the sprint race winner last week. Hunter Engrav and Tanner DeFabis, your top 30. Tanner way back there. 33 drivers on the grid here. Matt, we got a minute to go. What are the weather conditions and what are we watching here for the sprint?
Take a look at the conditions. No wind really to be had here, just a couple miles an hour gusts, but down to 0 miles an hour at some points. 106 degrees is the track temperature. Got the 15-minute sprint race coming up here for you. 200 seconds of overtake. That is a lot in this short sprint. And not a very long track either, so it'll be interesting to see where the drivers are able to use that other than the straightaway and make it work to their advantage. 17X is a drive-through penalty, 25X will be a disqualification, and no stops required for the sprint race.
This is a long track in the sense that it's 3 miles long, but it's like cramming an 18-hole golf course on 80 acres, and I know that Hunter Leach will appreciate that in the chat. There's a lot going on in a little bitty space here. And we'll see who is going for the spaces here early as the drivers are on the starting grid and about ready to rock and roll here for the first time on turn 200 at Barcelona, Catalunya. Lights will be coming on as it's Di Gregorio and Welker on the front row. The green flag is out.
Whoa, looks like farther in the back, somebody did not get rolling. Everybody is going around. You see many drivers starting from the pits again here this week.
So many drivers starting from the pits. A lot of heavy hitters there as well. Di Gregorio has the lead into turn number 1 and through turn number 3 now. Welker, Sherlock, Buchanan, and Groff the top 5. Siefker, Hill, Flaum, Claiborne among those who had to start from the pits. JC Lacey as well.
Cameron Dance and McDougal have been side by side for him.
Oh,
Wow, Dance.
Mia Swenson is off the track and into the barriers.
Oh, Dance together with McDougal now. Byron Daly trying to get through. Dance has looked all sorts of upset so far, but still gets the pass done, but not without contact.
Dance up to 7th from the 9th starting spot. So early work here for driver 6. Still looking for his first good result of the season. There were a couple of drivers that chose to start from the pits, but most drivers picked up penalties from last week at Portimao that have rolled over into tonight's start for the sprint race.
There goes Christopher Hill through on Dakota to Maid. Hill deep in the field here.
Well, Mitch Welker was way off the track there through turn 13. And it's Di Gregorio with the lead across the line.
I'm wondering if Hill may have been one of the drivers that...
He did. Started from the pits.
Okay, yes.
Yep. He was the second one off behind Siefker. And has gotten past Siefker, so...
Hard battle for a top 10 position here. Allen, Jasper, Flory, Wang, Han, all here together. See Matt Schlosser trying to get through on to Brett Hahn. Gets to the inside. Oh, Hahn a little bit out into the grass. Schlosser turns it into the wall. That is it for Schlosser here.
Darn. Inside the top 15. Schlosser's sprint race is over.
Carried too much speed and then just got loose. Spun it out.
It's easy to do. There aren't so many undulations like there were last week at Portimao on this track, but there are a few sweepers. And these corners are very, very rounded. Di Gregorio, purple lap, continues to lead. He's extended that gap to up over a second.
Kevin Minomi looks to the inside of Groff here into turns 1, now through 2. Still preferred positioning for 3. Cameron Dance sticks his nose in here as well.
And Christian Jasper has passed Kyle Allen to move up to 10th as Groff and Dance continue to dance their dance.
Oh, Han and Wang side by side here. Wang was ahead of Han at one point, but I think may have locked it up into that last corner.
And Han doesn't want to be fading away here because he's got Nick Fleury and Kyle Allen in front of him. Those are the top 3 AMs all running together on the leaderboard right now, 10th, or rather 11th, 12th, and 13th.
And Flory is looking to take the position away.
Yeah, lock up there from Allen. As not only are they running nose to tail on the leaderboard, they're running nose to tail on the track as well. As Di Gregorio continues to pipe in the purple laps up front. Ooh, Allen got off into the gravel trap just a little bit with the left side tires, and it's going to open him up to an attack here from Nick Fleury for the top aim spot. Into turn number 1, Fleury is going to hang on. He'll take the spot.
Just behind them, hard battling. Christopher Hill trying to work his way through the field here after the pit road start.
Yeah, Hill is positively flying.
Now Han and Allen battling.
Boy.
Whoa, boy.
That was Hill almost into the back of Kyle Allen there. A couple inches away from an accident. Things are spreading out towards the front of the field. Mitch Welker is able to put some time back to Titus Sherlock. So we got 9.5 minutes left to go. Here
goes
is Hill. Di Gregorio again with a purple lap. Hill will move through, and he will take whatever spot that is. Completely lost focus there for a second. 13th. That's for 13th. And there goes J.J. Wang through now on Kyle Allen, so he'll fade away here from the battle for top AM. Fleury's put a second back to Brett Hahn now.
Back further behind them, David Patton has a myriad of drivers trying to get through. I mean, this is a pack right here. The train is not stopping for Patton right now. He got out of position, and there is a long line of drivers that want to take advantage. I think Patton has lost maybe 4 spots just in the last lap and a half.
It's hard once you get on a line to kind of get your groove back.
Well, you're under pressure. You're out of your preferred racing line, and you got 4 or 5 cars lined up behind you ready to pounce. It's, yeah, that's the definition of not easy.
Well, Mitch Welker just put in the purple lap. Little over a 10th quicker than Di Gregorio last time around. And he's only 1.2 seconds behind. So Welker may still have a shot here, but he's going to have to get a move on. Zach Buchanan having a good sprint race after a good starting spot. He is in the 4th spot still, as Cameron Dance is pulling up on Kevin Bonomi here for P5.
Oh, and Dance locks it up. Also a little bit wide there. Gives Bonomi some breathing room. Jeff Groff now catching up to Dance after that mistake as well. So all 3 of these drivers starting to converge.
Brett Hahn in P12 just went off the track. He's lost 2 spots and maybe about to lose the 3rd here to Jesse Lacey. So that'll move him back to P14. As Fleury continues to ride his top AM and has quite a bit of time now. Back to Hahn.
Oh, there's contact between Lacey and Hahn. Hahn into the wall, and it is over for the sprint race for the 71.
Yeah, that was a rather swift ending there. He's going to try to drive it. I don't think he realizes he doesn't have a left rear tire anymore. Well, he's on a left-hander right now, so wait till we get to the right-hander. He'll figure it out. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll have to take a look at what happened there.
Well, we got to see it live. I think Hahn was back in the entry up, and wow, look at this pack down into turn 1. Oh my goodness. Oh, and DeMade had to cut through the course, missed turn 1. I think may have to give a little bit of time back here. Is going to lose all of those positions. Distances between Bonomi, Dance, and Groff for a top 5 are all still the same as they were a couple laps ago.
Yeah, Bonomi doing his best to keep Cameron Dance behind him. And for the most part is succeeding up to this point.
And Dan Miglin just said what I was thinking.
Yeah, Jeff jinxed it.
Jeff jinxed it, he sure did.
Oz Canari's had an off track, but he is back up and going.
Go on board here with Cameron Dance continues to try and tick away at the lead here. Or, excuse me, tick away at a top 5 here from Bonomi.
And that run is kind of stalled. It was inside of 7/10 of a second. Now it's back to just about a second. But it can all change still. We got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Anything is possible. And he has continued to drop back here. He's outside of a second now. As Mitch Welker dropped a wheel there into the gravel. Had a purple middle sector and a purple last sector as well here on this lap. Was 4/1000ths of a second off of the purple lap. And is putting in some work here on João de Gregorio. All of a sudden, that gap is closed right up. So Welker may be on the overtake here.
He was about a 10th faster last time around, but certainly seems to have closed more here.
3/4 of a second now. Yes, he is closed up pretty quickly. There is Matt Shorts, who showed us the way around initially here. He approves of what we've seen so far. Welker sending it way deeper on the brakes there.
And a couple of the folks in the chat have talked about how difficult of a course this is. We kind of talked about that earlier. But for being such a fast course, there's still lots of really tight corners. It's just a weird feeling making your way around this one. As Welker seems to be continuing to make time on Di Gregorio here, but is it too late? 2 minutes remaining.
Purple lap, 3/10 up on Di Gregorio last time around. Trying to cut it to half a second. He is much better in this first sector, but ran it a bit wide there.
You can tell he's really starting to push it. Might be overdriving a bit.
That's what's happening to Byron Daly back at P8. He has just been given a slowdown penalty. He's been off the track a couple of times. So we'll see if he can hang on to that 8th position. Nick Fleury still the top AM right now in P11. Top 10 pay points out of the sprint, and top 10 will be inverted for the feature grid as well.
Welker on the overtake this entire lap here. We've seen him have to fight the wheel a little bit, trying to keep this car from spinning out from underneath of him. And only 18 seconds of overtake left, so this final lap will not have any left in the bank.
And that gap has started to increase once again, as I'm sure Di Gregorio's found his button. Oh, it's Welker. Wow, right up to the line there. Purple lap for Di Gregorio out front. It's back up to a second here on the final lap of the sprint. Takes two to tango, Matthew Shorts. Yes, indeed. Dance the dance. Speaking of which, Cameron Dance still a second behind Kevin Bonomi here for 5th. And there are no real battles inside the top 10. I think Christopher Hill's going to have a go on Nick Fleury by the end of the final lap here. But Fleury not in jeopardy of losing the top AM position. I wish I could do any of what these guys could do.
Just a sliver of it?
Yeah. You would think watching so many talented drivers on this channel that we would pick some stuff up. Speaking for myself, of course, I don't think any of it's trickled down. But I can hold out hope. Well, through turn to 13, Johnny Gregorio's across the stripe, and he will take the sprint race here at Catalunya. Welker and Sherlock, your podium. Buchanan and Bonomi, your top 5.
Doesn't look like Hill is going to get close enough to make this pass on Fleury. Going to have to settle for 12th.
So he will not benefit from the invert. The driver that will is Christian Jasper. He will have the pole position here for the 40-minute sprint. So, the format's a little bit different, and the powers that be gave us plenty of notice that we were going to have an 8-minute warm-up instead of a 2-minute warm-up, and I still forgot to prepare something. So we will hopefully talk to João de Gregorio in the meantime, but regardless, we will have to do a little on-air filling as this session is about to swap over. The 8 minutes hasn't even started yet, and I'm vamping already. So,
well,
that's
we could.
Gonna be interesting.
I think we could go through the entire finishing order of the heat. I do believe, or the sprint race,
Sure.
I should say.
Will that pop up for you?
I'm gonna find out here in just one moment.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
You know what? Never mind. Not available.
Okay, not available. Well,
I
I could
lied.
do it. I could do it with my voice, radio style. Just close your eyes and imagine I'm employed somewhere. João de Gregorio with a win. Hopefully we'll talk to him here in just a second. Mitch Welker, Titus Sherlock, your top 3. Zach Buchanan, Kevin Bonomi, your top 5. Cameron Danson, 6th. Jeff Groff in 7th. Byron Daly in 8th. Sam McDougall in 9th. And Christian Jasper in 10th. Reverse that order, and that is your starting grid here for the feature. Nick Fleury, the top AM driver in P11, 12th for Christopher Hill, 13th for Jesse Lacey. Both of those two started from the pits. JJ Wang will finish in 14th. Kyle Allen in 15th. Griffin Yellen in 16th. Zach Flaum in 17th. Nate Siefker in the 18th position. Tanner DeFavis and Cody Claiborne, your top 20. Dakota DeMay, 21st. Matt Johnston in 22nd. Brian Labarge, 23rd. David Patton, in 24th. Oz Kennard, then the last driver, running, I believe, in P25. Nate Paluota in 26th. Brent Hahn in 27th. Matt Schlosser in 28th. Nick Goyette, Hunter Engrav with early problems there in 30th. Michael Costello, 31st. Mia Swenson, I believe, is checked out for the night. Not the debut Mia was looking for. Will finish in 32nd. And Drew White lagged out of the session on the starting grid. So, we only had 32 drivers starts. 25 of them finished. Not to jinx it, but like Jeff and others said in the chat, that was not a disastrous sprint race. But yeah, we have another grid to go. I don't know. I feel like we always envision the carnage, and it's easy to envision sometimes. Sometimes we don't have to envision it. Sometimes we vision it. We watch it happen. But
Jeff kind of said that those first 3 laps may be the cleanest first 3 laps in Formula Racing Series history. Through either of their leagues, and I don't know if that's necessarily true, but just a couple of little tussles there, but nobody actually got crashed out of the race, or that I could tell from contact with another car. I know that there were a couple that ended their race early, but I don't believe they were from actual contact with anybody. So, it was fairly clean compared to what we've seen in weeks past, I suppose. But you put the feature race on here, you got the invert. I think things might be a little bit different. We saw a little bit of tugging down through the first few corners. Specifically, Cameron Dance made some contact with. I'm trying to remember who that was.
Might have been Jeff Groff.
It was either Groff or McDougall. I don't remember. It was either one of the two. And Dance ended up getting that position, but it wasn't without some contact there. So trying to fight for positions early here. We know how track position is necessary. So fighting for those positions on the start of the race are crucial, but it creates chaos at the same token.
Why don't we see if we can snag a word with your top AM driver? We'll pull up Nick Fleury here, who finished in P11, took the top AM honors. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. All right.
Oh, hey, there we go. I was going to say I heard you over the radio there, but welcome into the booth. Congrats on another top AM spot here, and finishing just outside of the invert as well. But how did that race go from your perspective?
Oh, it was pretty smooth. Just kept my head down, stayed out of trouble, and made sure I didn't crash into anyone and or get run into. So, you know how it goes. And then after that, it's just learning, getting ready for the big race, and just making sure I didn't make any big mistakes, and kind of assuming that there would be some more wrecks ahead of me, and so maybe I'd hit the invert. But sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's okay.
So what is the game plan being starting from the inside of row number 6 here?
Well, again, it's about surviving the start. These starts in these races are always so difficult. But once I survive that, then it's just take it easy, let those tires warm up, because these tires are ridiculously hard to drive on for about 2 laps. Then once they come up to speed or come up to heat, just go.
Well, while we got it, Chip, here, you have anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to thank my Lord and Savior. He does a lot for me. And then I want to thank my teammates, Dave Payton and Brett Hahn. We have a lot of fun racing together, and I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. You put a lot of work into this, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely, partner. We appreciate you as well. Keep it up. We'll hopefully talk to you again at the end of the next one.
Thank you very much.
That was your top AM, Nick Fleury. And a reminder that tonight's race is sponsored as well by Selmants Motorsports Arts. We showed some of it at the initial intro, but if you missed it, you can go. It's kind of linked. I don't know how to do an Instagram link, but I put the in the video description. So if you're an Instagram person, go check out. I believe it's Cell Arts. It's something close to that. The exact wording is in the description. So go check out Joey Selmans Art on Instagram, and thank him for sponsoring tonight's running of the Catalan Grand Prix here tonight for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Shout out to 4D Racewear and, of course, GoSquadra as well. And thank them for their support of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series as well. Got about a minute and a half left to go. I don't think there's any point in showing the track conditions here because the whole point of the longer warm-up here is to make the weather conditions change incredibly drastically. I believe we're now a full day later than when we started this race in the sim. A full day has passed. So these weather conditions are going to change enough, I think. But regardless, what are we thinking here ahead of the 40-minute feature here tonight?
Well, I think that sorry, I think that Fleury hit it right on the head, and I think that's what probably most of the drivers are thinking, especially after the last few weeks, is survive. I mean, you have to put yourself in a position to finish the race, and for lots of folks, the first 2 weeks they did not finish the race, so I think that is still at the top of everybody's mind. Maybe a little bit less so now that we've had a full, clean week of really no shenanigans. But I still think that's incredibly prevalent, that they just want to make sure that they're able to survive, and then they'll let the speed speak for itself with the longer format for the feature race. They got 40 minutes, so I think they just want to survive and then let the speed show after the first lap or so.
Yeah, a 103-point advantage for Titus Sherlock, who's won all 3 races to his credit this season. But for Mitch Welker, for Jowdy Gregorio, imagine how much closer they would be if they each could have finished the other 2 races that they have not finished this season to go with their podium results. So they'll aim to right that wrong here with another finish today. It is time to go racing here for the 40-minute feature. It's Jasper and McDougall on row 1, Daly and Groff on row 2, Dance and Bonomi on the 3rd row, Buchanan and Sherlock on row 4, Mitch Welker and Jowdy Gregorio round out your invert drivers. It's your top AM Nick Fleury in 11th with Christopher Hill to his outside, Jesse Lacey, JJ Wang on row number 7, Kyle Allen, Griffin Yellen on row 8, Zach Flom, Nate Seifker, Tanner DeFabis, and Cody Claiborne. Your top 20, 30 seconds. What's the weather?
Take a look at the weather conditions. Very, very much a lower track temperature, 85 degrees. It's almost a 20-degree swing. So drivers are going to have a different test here, much like last week. It's actually going to be faster here once the tires come up to temperature. However, you got to let them come up to temperature, so this start is going to be even maybe more difficult than the drivers originally thought. So drivers going to have to be very careful here. We got 40 minutes coming up, 200 seconds of overtake as always. 17X is a pass-through, 25X is a DQ, and we are getting ready to go racing.
Green flag is out. Byron Daly sluggish off the line there. He'll get swallowed up quickly by Cameron Dance as they're looking to maybe go 3 wide here. Groff and Dance side by side. Are they going to go 4 wide? Surely not into turn number 1. Dance will roll out. They are 4 wide behind them, though. Daly will sneak through and grab 2 spots. And it is McDougal with the lead now on Jasper. Dance sneaks up to 3rd. It puts Bonomi back to 4th. And Jeff Groff will round out the top 5. Groff will go to the inside. What a lunge there for Byron Daly to take the spot on Jeff Groff. Spin behind. It's Griffin Yellen.
Titus Sherlock as well.
Titus Sherlock, yes. He gets the worst of it. And we talked about the mistakes for others and how Sherlock had clean features. Not this time. There may not be a 4-peat on the menu tonight in Catalunya. Continuing to battle now, Di Gregorio just went off the track, still trying to maintain this 10th position. Leading a long train of cars here.
Wow, look at this.
Big stack up.
Oh, big time.
Nobody made any contact, but it was awfully close.
Now you see side-by-side racing between Siefker and Yellen. Yellen able to stay in front of Siefker for now. That's Siefker trying to get into the top 10.
And I believe Yellen caught a
Cody
piece.
Claiborne. Problems for Claiborne again this week.
Dakota DeMade is off the track there as well. Tanner DeFabus also went off in the final turn.
Boy, first 3 laps of the sprint were all right. First 3 laps of the feature, not so much.
That's the first lap. That's the first 1 lap. Big story there with Titus Sherlock going off the track. He is still on track, running back in 27th. So we'll continue to monitor his progress as Zach Buchanan is working his way forward. He is now just outside of the top 5 as Mitch Welker's gotten past Christian Jasper to move up to 5th.
Di Gregorio has either made some mistakes or has damage. He has actually fallen. Yellen has gotten by, and Siefker's all over him now.
So Di Gregorio back to 10th. Oh, Nate Siefker was all sorts of wiggly there in the big slowdown. Spin further back, and I believe it was Titus Sherlock again. And this time Sherlock has damage, and he is not going to be able to finish. As enough drivers say on the track, the caution is out. There were 4 drivers parked on track there after that incident, including Titus Sherlock, and that is enough to trigger the caution here. So a full course caution after the first lap.
Never thought I would see
that very often.
Yeah, I never thought I would see that one this season. And Nathan Palawota was another driver involved there. I don't know how it happened, but Palawota's car was absolutely crumpled as well.
So that is going to change the complexion of this race very, very much. Dakota DeMade was involved in that accident as well. So there's 3 of the 4. We have 2 Titus Sherlock incidents to look at now. The points leader with a comfortable 103 marker cushion. Much of that is going away tonight. This pace car is trundling along, as they would say in the Formula One broadcast. It's like 50 miles an hour, which is pretty slow.
Well, let's take a look at the first Sherlock incident here. Looks like Sherlock going to try to go underneath.
Is this the initial one or the most recent one?
This is the initial one. Wow. And I think just loses the rear end, but I'm going to go on board here so we can maybe listen to the tires or get some other sort of indication of what exactly is going on here. Yeah, he just gets on the power and rear end goes around. Luckily, I don't believe made contact with anybody, and really, I mean, he did have to go off into the gravel trap to get going again, I suppose, but shouldn't really be any damage necessarily to that car. Let's look at the incident with Cody Claiborne here as well. Claiborne with problems in the feature 2 weeks in a row now. Oh, and DeMade? No? Yes, contact with DeMade. Claiborne and DeMade side by side here.
Those are teammates, by the way. Yeah, 2 tough lap ones in a row for Cody Claiborne.
And then we're going to look at this incident. Is this?
That was
That is Dakota DeMade.
That was not great. I think you forgot what layout he was on. Yeah.
So, yeah, DeMade goes through into what would be a different layout of the course, as Tommy mentioned.
The new one.
Yes, the current layout, and comes right out onto the racetrack. I'm not even sure who this is he makes contact with. I think... Oh, boy. I want to say it was Paulo Woda who he made the initial contact with. And indeed it was. DeFavis is the other car on the inside wall, and then, of course, Sherlock. Well documented. That car that is completely destroyed there. Yeah, I don't know if Dakota was trying to be good and get out of the way by going to a different part of the race course. He was going very fast, though, so I don't... that one's a little inexplicable to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That was an interesting one. But regardless, I guess, I don't know. We'll figure that one out later. Anyway, so the pit window, there's a required pit stop, of course, for tires, but that is not open. It opens on lap 10 or after minute 20, and we are not close to either of those at the current moment. So anybody that pit under this caution was to fix some damage. So we'll still have to see pit stops for tires shortly. And we'll also, again, much like Spa, have to survive this restart.
And to Matt Short's point, DeMade, obviously a great track record here on Turn 200, so have to believe that was a pretty innocent mistake, just forgetting the layout and trying to keep the speed rolling.
Either that or he disconnected pretty quickly, so maybe he was trying to Alt F4 and mistimed it a bit. Oh, but either way, yeah, sterling track record here, so... Well, the pace car is about to pull off. And Sam McDougal's leading this race, but Cameron Dance has picked his way up to second. He's made some pretty sporty moves to get himself up here. He has not had the season that he has wanted to have, that is for sure. Could tonight be a big night for Dance? We'll see. Could be a big night for Sam McDougal as well. He gets a great getaway down the pit straight. Will lead the field back into turn number 1. Dance trying to pump some energy into these tires and keep Kevin Bonomi behind him into 1.
Daly nearly pulled up to Bonomi there as well.
Matt Johnston had a problem there on the green flag drop. He picked up a meatball flag. He's back to the pits as there was Dance running a bit wide there, but he maintains that gap of just a couple car lengths here back to Bonomi. Bonomi gaps Daly a bit here as Mitch Welker's up to 5th. Oh, Nick Fleury, the top am from the sprint, has picked up a meatball flag.
And looks to maybe just be a wheel out of alignment. Oh, yes, that right front is definitely out of alignment. Must have gotten into the wall, potentially.
Whoa! Stack-ups there. Everybody's still going, I think.
Problem for Daly here as well. Mitch Welker has gotten through.
Yeah, they had a bit of a skirmish there while we were watching Nick Fleury. Top am right now, I believe, is Brett Hahn back in 18th. It's not been a good sprint race so far for the am drivers. As I say that, Brett Hahn just went off into the gravel trap out of turn 13.
Yellen and Di Gregorio going at it. Yellen tried to block Di Gregorio from going up the inside.
There's a big lockup from Zhao.
Siefker right here to try and take advantage of it all, as well as Christopher Hill.
Siefker around to the left side. If he can hang here, it'll set him up nicely. Big legs there in contact. Oh, and that pushes him right into the path of Christopher Hill.
Misses the braking zone, takes out Yellen. Hill with damage as well.
Man. Tough break there for Griffin Yellen as Siefker was going for it there to the inside of the left turn. He will drop all the way to the back and pick up a meatball flag. Hill with wing damage as well.
Kevin Bonomi has been putting heat on Cameron Dance here. Is now a few car lengths up, but was just within a couple about half a lap ago.
Byron Daly with the purple lap. Welker and McDougal are all fast. Zach Flau making a pass on J.J. Wang for 13th. As Michael Costello's gotten around Nate Siefker for 11th. And Griffin Yellen will hit pit road.
Just outside the top 10 here, Zach Flam, J.J. Wang, Hunter Ingrab, all right here together. J.J. trying to go a little outside in underneath Flam, but doesn't get a great drive off. Here comes Di Gregorio, still pushing extremely hard here, right up to the back of Jeff Groff at the moment. Di Gregorio down the long straight. Takes it to the inside. He returns 1 and 2. Gets the position from Groff. Now has Jasper up next. for 7th. Meanwhile, Bonomi and Dance have started to reel in McDougal here.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Huge moment there. And Dance is going to get pounced on by Bonomi. Boy, that was tight. Dance is going to pay for one small mistake. Back to 3rd. And look at the gap that opened up for Sam McDougal just as the vice was tightening around him. Here's a lunge to the inside for Welker. Trying to capitalize on Dance going backwards. Dance will have the advantage through the next couple of turns, though. As it's right-handers back to the pit straight. 1.2 seconds. It was inside half a second before the mistake there from Dance. Oh, Zach Buchanan. I thought maybe he hit the wall. But nope, he just dipped it off into the grass. I heard somebody hit the wall somewhere.
Here comes Welker to the inside of Dance into turn number 1, but Dance will be able to hold on to the position through turns 2 and 3.
Nick Goyette with a spin out of turn number 13. Nate Siefkers brought his damage car to pit road. Still will not count towards the pit stop, though, as it's lap number 9. The pit window will open up after lap number 10 to take tires. Well, McDougal did have a big gap. Bonomi is eating right back into it, though. Bonomi played off last week so well after it all came crumbling down in the first 2 laps after being intentionally wrecked while leading. Here's a big lockup from Dance. Welker now going to try and take advantage again, but again will find himself on the left side of the right-hander. But yeah, Kevin Bonomi played off last week so well, and he's showing his pace once again here. I think it's about time that he got him one. Half a second now to Sam McDougal, who is putting on the snake down the front stretch. Jowdy Gregorio with the purple lapis. Here goes Mitch Welker. Through on Cameron Dance into 1.
Let's go on board with Bonomi, looking to track down the leader.
Dance is ailing. He has lost several car lengths already to Mitch Welker. That will put him in the clutches here of Byron Daly and Zach Buchanan to try and hang on to a spot in the top 5.
Oh, leader is off the track. Bonomi right here.
It was a couple of car lengths. Now it's less than 1. Bonomi. Oh, boy. Had to big check up there.
And loses tons of that track position that was gained from the mistake by McDougal.
And now all of a sudden, Welker and Dance are right back on the scene. That may have been Bonomi's opportunity to get away clean. It's not going to be so clean anymore, but he might have a shot still down the pit straight. Into the draft, looking for the move into turn number 1. He'll pull out to the right side. Backs out of it. He has to. That door shuts. Matt Schlosser is in from 15th because the pit window is open
here now.
Mitch Welker now searching for a way through on Bonomi and potentially McDougal as well. I'll have to take them one at a time. Cameron Dance sailed it through that turn. He lost a ton of time once again to the top 3. Brett Hunt still the top am here as the top 3 pro drivers scrapping away. McDougal leading. He took advantage of the invert and a good start to take the race lead. And Welker takes advantage of Bonomi running wide to take second as Bonomi nearly piles into the back of the 76. For 10th, Michael Costello had a problem, and now he's turned Christian Jasper. Jasper for a spin in 11th. Was in the 10th position as he got past Costello. Just a slight mistake there. Puts Jasper back. As here comes Welker. A lunge into turn number 1.
Oh.
Boy! Does not get much closer than that. Jasper down pit road.
This is an unbelievably tightly contested race up front here.
Certainly.
Like nothing we've really seen this season with this many drivers lined up for it.
Really, the top 7 drivers are all in tow here. McDougall, Welker, Bonomi, Dance, Daly, Buchanan, and Di Gregorio. The pit strategy still yet to come into play here for the drivers at the front of the field. Who will make the first move to pit road? And it's going to be your third-place runner, Kevin Bonomi. As Cameron Dance went off into the gravel trap there, losing some time, but not a position.
Here comes Welker.
Here goes Mitch Welker for the lead. Much better this time into turn number 1, but still, McDougall on the outside will hang tough. Now it'll be Welker to power through.
And Bonomi triggered the undercut.
Bonomi, the first of the top 7 to drop out of line and hit pit road.
And I love it because he's trying to put himself in clean air while the rest of these drivers all lined up here together.
Yeah, he has definitely found himself quite a big gap out on track. There's not a whole lot going on in front of him. He can get these tires up to temperature and will benefit from it on the back end, or should anyway.
The thing of it is,
out of trouble.
One of his biggest adversaries, Mitch Welker, now also has clean air. Has already put a pretty large gap back to McDougall in half a lap.
McDougall struggling a bit here in the dirty air. The first time he's had to contend with it all night. Or all feature race, I should say. He finished P9 in the sprint. To pit road this time, Zach Buchanan from 5th. And Jesse Lacey behind him, who had started to catch this lead group. He will pit from 7th. Good stops for Buchanan and Lacey. And Buchanan has come out ahead of Kevin Bonomi, but ran it wide into turn number 1 and will give that spot back, as now Jesse Lacey has crashed just behind those two. Lacey is out. That was starting to look up Lacey, and all of a sudden it's over.
And Bonomi with a little more heat in the tires should have the advantage over Buchanan here.
Certainly. Yeah, Buchanan really could have thrown a wrench into things for Kevin Bonomi, but ran it wide there into turn number 1. As here comes Di Gregorio now. Mitch Welker at the front of the field is starting to try and put it away as Cameron Dance and McDougall nearly made contact there into turn number 1. Dance has reclaimed 2nd. Well, if you're McDougall, do you try and pit now and try and drop yourself into a little bit cleaner air? Or do you wait for everybody else to clear out up front and be the last one on pit road?
I mean, you would imagine it would be an advantage to get yourself in clean air, but maybe seeing a line from one of these other drivers might be helping him a little bit here as well. You never know.
Well, it's 2.25 seconds from Dance up to Welker now. As the top four are all still right here together. They have yet to come to pit road.
Wow,
Welker will bypass, so will Dance and McDougal. Here comes Byron Daly, though, from fourth.
Buchanan and Di Gregorio going at it right now. Buchanan going to take a lunge to the inside.
And to be clear, Kevin Bonomi is still the front runner of those who have come down pit road. Di Gregorio and Buchanan are the next two in line. Zach Flom has also come down pit road.
Di Gregorio now starting to put some time on Buchanan after getting heat in the tires. Bonomi about 1.8 seconds in front of Di Gregorio. Here comes Jeff Groff.
Groff from outside that front grouping, but still having a respectable run here. Michael Costello, who I think will have some damage to fix if he has the time, but also will not have the time. He's running inside the top 10.
That is a pass for position. Hunter Ingrab has gotten around Zach Flown. Both of them have been down pit road already.
Kevin Bonomi, purple lap in P8. And Jody Gregorio bested him. So the top two that have come down pit road already are clocking some fast laps here. A 10th and change up on Mitch Welker, the race leader. And Welker still with work to do, having not made that pit stop to get tire temperature up to par as quickly as possible whenever he does make the stop.
Di Gregorio is really putting some laps in. Looks to be on another heater here.
Welker bypasses pit road once again. He has opened up nearly a 3-second gap back to Cameron Dance. And Dance has put 2 seconds back to Sam McDougal. So things have broken up front.
There's a purple lap for Welker, a 1:22.60.
Big time there for Mitch Welker. We'll see if Di Gregorio or Bonomi could answer. Bonomi a 1:22.9. Di Gregorio a 1:22.9. So,
wow.
No. Welker answered quite affirmatively. But again, still has to put in the work after making the pit stop, whenever that may be. It has to be with 2 laps to go or earlier. We got 11 minutes left in this one, so still plenty of opportunities for Welker to make it down pit road. Expected about 28 laps. We're working lap 17. No Welker down pit road this time. No Dance. And no McDougal. So the top 3 will stay out. purple sectors for João de Gregorio here in Sector 1 and 2, so he is on a fast lap. He's now inside a second and a half, on Kevin Bonomi. JJ Wang will pit from 4th. As De Gregorio across the stripe, 1:22.57. Big lap there for De Gregorio.
Only 4 drivers left now to come down pit road. Welker, Dance McDougal, and Brian Labarge.
Only 18 drivers left running after a relatively clean sprint race. This feature has gone the other direction. As there's one driver way off, it's Brian Labarge, who has yet to make his pit stop. He gets passed by Bonomi and De Gregorio. And after a big lap there for De Gregorio last time around, this one is looking to be a bit slower, although he does go purple in the middle sector once again. Here comes McDougal from 3rd. Brian Labarge from now the 8th position, I believe, will be pitting this time as well.
Brett Hahn, JJ Wang getting ready to do battle for, I think, what will be 13th here. Oh, no! Contact!
There they go.
And both of them now out.
That does not leave but one amateur driver left on the track, and it's David Payton. So he's going to be top AM tonight just by the fact that he's left running. The AM class has really had a great season overall, but tonight is not representative of that. They have been wiped out. Cameron Dance down pit road from 2nd. De Gregorio on another heater as he closes in on Kevin Bonomi for what could potentially be either the lead or 2nd. We will see. Dance leaving his stall now. Here comes Bonomi. It's going to be tight into turn number 1. Dance on cold tires. Bonomi going to scoot on by. And Dance will be dropped right in the middle of De Gregorio and Bonomi. De Gregorio, the fastest driver on the track. Although Bonomi also turned a personal best last time around. De Gregorio to the right side. These two have had some great battles here in the Formula Super Series. That one probably not going in the history books, but it's not over. So 22 twos and 22 threes for this group. Last lap for Mitch Welker, a 22-7. And here comes Mitch Welker to pit road.
This is the big moment here.
This is going to be, I think, a lead for Mitch Welker, but I'm not sure by how much. Maybe a second or two at most. He is away. And Bonomi is just now rounding turn 13, so I think Welker will have him by a few seconds, but still has to get these tires up to temp. Bonomi has just started to really get the life out of these tires. 2.6 seconds at the last timing loop. And ideally, Bonomi would like to be within a second here on Welker.
Visibly continuing to close, though. I'm guessing it'll be down to 2 seconds by the time they get to start finish, probably.
Seven tenths up in Sector 2. Personal best middle sector for Kevin Bonomi. And it is 2 seconds. Another lap, though, and Welker will be off and running. Bonomi needs to make a big dent here on the second lap. Welker has 2 seconds back to Bonomi, and he's still weaving to both kind of break a little toe and also to put temperature in these tires.
I think the latter probably the most important there.
Definitely. Bonomi another 10th up on the first sector here, but it's starting to swing the other way.
Not only that, Bonomi may have company from behind before too long as well.
Yeah, Di Gregorio wishes he were in the second position right now because he has had the pace on Bonomi here after getting dropped in behind him after the pit stops. About the 0.8 of a second barrier is where we see the aero wash start to come into play, as now Welker has gone faster than Bonomi in the middle sector. And that is not at all what Kevin wants to see. A 10th down last time Bonomi was to Mitch Welker. And it's back up over 2 seconds as Welker leading a bit more comfortably here. Bonomi, I'm sure, about as uncomfortable as possible. Losing time to the leader and being reeled in big time here by Di Gregorio, who is just chomping at the bit to get up to P2.
Take a look at a battle further back, side by side into turn 1. Jasper trying to get around Costello, not able to get it done. Other than the battle for second and this battle here between these two, nobody else is within a second of each other.
Only 16 drivers left out of the 31 that started this race. And David Patton, the only AM left running. So he will certainly be top AM tonight. But running in the 16th position. There's Di Gregorio. Real tight here to Bonomi once more into turn number 1. Personal best for Mitch Welker last time by with 122.39 compared to 122.71 for Bonomi. Zhao with a lockup there.
Wow, look at this. Ever closer, but only one more lap.
Time about to expire. Mitch Welker just needs one more good one as he'll cross the stripe. to take the white flag. Bonomi just trying to survive. Looking likely that he'll be on the podium here without some kind of disaster. But will it be a silver or a bronze? Going to be a great points night for both Welker and Di Gregorio if they could just bring it home. And Bonomi as well. He's in the top 5 in the standings too. Cameron Dance behind them just piped in the purple lap, a 1:22.007. Out of the final turn, Mitch Welker is going to right the wrongs done to him this season. He is finally a winner in the Formula Super Series. Bonomi in second, Di Gregorio in third is your podium. Cameron Dance and Zach Buchanan your top 5. But Mitch Welker will take the Catalan Grand Prix presented by Jay Selmants Art here for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Well done. Dave Patton. Still wrapping up his last lap. And he says, I win by default, which it is true. But he is your top AM tonight. Di Gregorio whipping some burnouts.
Welker is enjoying this cooldown lap.
Yes, indeed. And so is his teammate, Zach Buchanan, who did a fine job here tonight to pick up a P5. Welker will bring it back into the pits, finally as a winner with the Formula Super Series. So he will get weighed, of course, as is tradition. Make sure he passes tech. You know, we wouldn't want to take a win away from anybody being too light. So we'll double check that. But in the meantime, we'll give you the full finishing rundown here of a wild one for sure here at Catalunya. The Catalan Grand Prix presented by Jay Selmants Art, won tonight by Mitch Welker. Congrats to him. Kevin Bonomi in second, Di Gregorio in third. We'll talk to all 3 of your podium finishers here, hopefully momentarily. 4th for Cameron Dance, 5th for Zach Buchanan, 6th for Sam McDougall, 7th Byron Daly, 8th for Jeff Gruff, 9th for Hunter Engrav, who undoubtedly is tonight's hard charger in the feature, 30th to 9th for him. And Zach Flaum will round out the top 10. Michael Costello in 11th. Christian Jasper, the pole sitter, after some contact early, will drop back to 12th. Matt Schlosser through to the 13th spot. Brian Labarge, Nick Goyette, your top 15. Dave Patton is your top AM tonight in the last AM running in P16. And then it's DNFs from 17th to 31st. JJ Wang, Brett Hahn, Jesse Lacey, Nate Siefker. That's the top 20. Christopher Hill, 21st. Oz Kinar, Griffin Yellen, Nick Fleury, Matt Johnston, your top 25. Kyle Allen, Tanner DeFabis, Nate Palawota, Titus Sherlock, Dakota DeMade, and 30th, Cody Claiborne, the 31st and final runner. So, yeah, interesting one here tonight. And we will talk to David Patton here as your top AM. You said by default over the radio. Sometimes it's just like that. But, I mean, it takes some skill to survive this race because most people did not survive this race.
Yeah, a little skill, a lot of luck. It was still like so. I'm a back marker guy, right? I'm pretty new to road racing. I kind of came in here, kind of knowing that hey, I'm going to be around in the back. So my goal each night is to finish a race without making mistakes and without screwing anybody else up, and I accomplished that tonight and got the win in amateur class by default. So I guess a win's a win. I'll take it.
Absolutely. You got some time here in the booth. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Well, first and foremost, my team that I'm competing with here in this league, it's RHU Racing. That's going to be Nick Fleury and Brett Hahn and myself. Those two guys are usually always going to be quicker than me, so I get a lot of pointers. We do practice on our own, and it's been kind of refreshing, take on sim racing as being mostly an oval guy and then wanting to get into road. It's a whole different world, and those guys have been kind of coddling me along. So, and then thank my my much better half, Natalie. She's my wife, and she lets me pretend to be a race car driver a couple nights a week. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting us, and of course thanks to the league as well and all the admins for all the work they do. I know it takes a lot, so they do a pretty awesome job.
Well, congrats on the top AM here tonight. Let's do this again in a couple weeks. What do you say?
I'll give it my best shot.
All right, great job here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, we will pull up your third place finisher for the second week in a row. It's João de Gregorio. Congrats on the podium. Congrats on the sprint win as well.
Hi, guys. This one is a difficult one. Very high-speed section of the tracks, and it was very difficult. I had two good launch at the starts, the both starts. Had a very strong qualify to get the first position. I forgot to pit. I just remembered to pit when I saw a car in front of me pitting. I was so focused on getting the overtake done and try to put my pace that it was very difficult to remember to pit. Very good one. A lot of points to grab. To close the distance to Titus. So that was a very, very good one. I want to say congratulations to Mitch. He was like putting pace every week in, week out. So finally came this one to him. And just say thanks to my sponsors, Pro Racing Simulators. Last week I said that my pedal was not working. And I don't know if you guys know, but I had a back surgery. I have to put like 8 pins on the back and almost got on a wheelchair.
Oh,
so
wow.
they will help me. They will develop a pedal with like a throttle spring harder to see if I can get better because I lost like precision with the right foot. So last week I said that they were changing my pedal. So this week, the news is that they were developing a pedal just for me because of my problem. So Pro Racing Simuladores, C&D Racing, a very good kiss to my fiance as always, and have a very good night.
Thank you very much, and all the best in your recovery as well. Congrats again on another podium.
Many thanks.
That is a remarkable set of circumstances to be racing through. I had no idea. So, a shout out as always to João for the time on the podium here. We'll now open it up to questions, I guess, from Matt Williamson, as we've got Kevin Minomi in booth 200 as a runner-up finisher here. I mean, you had a podium finish for sure, locked and loaded last week. I mean, with the circumstances that happened there. But it's nice to finally get you back up here in booth 200 on a Monday. Congrats.
Hell yes, baby! That's what we're waiting for.
Absolutely. Yeah, a pretty interesting race here. You were the first driver to pull out in pits. You found yourself in a nice, clean gap there at the back of the field. And then from then on, I mean, you were piping in some pretty good laps trying to track down Mitch Welker without having him in front of you.
Yeah, the only mistake I would say was I pit a little too soon because his tire advantage was way too much for me, and I could not keep up toward the end. But it was really good racing with João.
Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great race here. I know, obviously Mitch had the pace, but, when you came down pit road, he wasn't in the lead. He was 2 cars behind you. I mean, did part of your decision to come down pit road kind of factor in him maybe not being able to get around McDougal there for a few laps?
Kinda, yeah. I was thinking maybe the dirty air would slow him down enough, and the clean air would speed me up. But in the end, it was just tire advantage would reign supreme. So,
well, great job here tonight. Way to get yourself back onto the podium. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Shout out my brothers who are watching, my family, and my amazing teammate Hunter, which past couple races has been very unlucky, just not agreeing with the car whatsoever, or rather the car's not agreeing with him. So hopefully we can improve that and he can be right next to me.
Well, he had a great recovery here tonight, going from 30th to 9th in the feature race. So
yeah.
Solid run for him and a great run for you. Once again, welcome back to the podium. Go celebrate. We'll hopefully talk to you again in a couple weeks.
All right, thanks.
And we talked to him earlier this season as a runner-up finisher at Spa, but tonight it is Mitch Welker's night to get himself on the top step finally with the Formula Super Series. Congrats on taking the Catalan Grand Prix here tonight.
Thank you very much. Yes, needed that a lot after these past few races of miserable luck, it must be said.
Very much agree. Miserable luck for sure. A couple of crazy grid starts and some unfortunate incidents. We avoid all that here tonight, despite the fact that you had to be inverted to the back of the invert, basically. And you picked your way up through the field there pretty cleanly, especially at a difficult track like this. You made some really great passes there.
Thank you. Yeah, was really happy with that drive up from the about 9th place or so. Everything just went really smooth. Safety car was pretty unexpected, but that helped keep everybody bunched up and made a couple moves off of that as well. But it was really had to, dig hard and keep up where you could, because this is a dirty air racetrack, especially with that couple sweeping final corners. I would have preferred the chicane for the passing.
So after that safety car, the top 7 all kind of stay bunched together there. You find yourself onto the podium positions right about the time that pit stops start taking place. And then all of a sudden, everybody one by one drops off, and you're the last driver to make a pit stop. Was that always the plan, to overcut the rest of the field and get yourself some clean air out front?
I mean, yeah, clean air is always king, especially here, like I just said. Catalunya is such a dirty air track position racetrack with these cars. I was in front, and everybody else was pitting behind me, and it's like, they're not going to be able to undercut me because they're going to pit back into traffic, or they're going to be on the cold tires, or a combo of both. I have the clean air. I'm just going to keep going. And I mean, my couple competitors for the win here did end up gaining some time there on me at the end, and I'm glad I pit when I did. But really, it did not seem important to me to pit when they did, because I had the clean air and I was still running good laps.
Matt, what do you got for your race winner?
Yeah, congrats on a race win here, Mitch. And I kind of want to piggyback off of what you just said. Is that a track-specific sort of scenario where you'd rather be out on the racetrack? Is that more prevalent here? Is that kind of this car in general at most racetracks?
I would say it's more prevalent here because the dirty air situation is so rough. But generally, because this car takes 3 or so laps to really fire up the tires, you're competing tightly with somebody. The overcut is always the solution because you've already got warmed up tires, and if somebody pits off in front of you, you just keep going. Like, you're going to get the overcut. If they pit from behind you to try to undercut you, they're going to fail because the tires will be slower. So generally the idea for me at least is to stay out longer, especially if I can get some clean air, but especially here where trying to get passes done was really, really difficult thanks to the dirty air. So yeah, that was just really important to keep track position, keep clean air on the nose.
Way to rise above the bad luck of late and carry some momentum into the off week here. Congrats on picking up a first Grand Prix victory here with the Formula Super Series. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Thanks to my teammate Zach. He played really good ball tonight. We worked well together, and glad we both got good results after a shambolic few weeks for both of us, really. So great team effort tonight. Thanks to all of our partners, Lazy Rocket, Open Medicine Foundation, LW Haugen. And thanks to the Scuderia Baba Booey for cheering me on, the whole gang of teams we have going here. So, a great night.
That was a lot of good words that I liked in there. Shambolic, Scuderia Baba Booey.
That's our Lion deal. Yeah.
Wow. What a way to cap it off here tonight. Congrats on the win. Go celebrate. We'll hopefully talk to you again here soon.
Thank you. See you next week, or next week after, rather.
Yep, and somebody's going to have to correct me if I'm saying it incorrectly, because I'm sure I am. But we're at, oh God, now I can't even think of where we are. I've psyched myself out so much here. In 2 weeks, we're at Aragon. Yeah. I always want to say Aragorn, but there's no R in there. So it's Aragon, I think. Or Argon, for anybody that's a fan of the periodic table. I don't know. We're at a track in 2 weeks. We are not at a track next week. That's the best way to look at it. But Matt, you always champion the overcut here with the Formula Super Series. You got to feel a little bit vindicated here tonight with Mitch Welker taking your side on this argument and backing it up with the result as well.
Yeah, certainly. I feel like you and I have that age-old discussion just about every week here in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. But I will take those points for Mitch Welker here tonight. And he certainly proved it, but he had a hell of a lot of pace as well. So not sure if that was the only factor there in that one. But great race here tonight, and he came up with a heck of a word. I think shambolic pretty much sums up just about every feature race start here this season. So shout out to Mitch for some great verbiage there as well, and shout out to everybody that was watching here with us, especially those chatting: Flinky Roberts, Hunter Leach, Matt Short, Ashton Crowder, Jeff Mathis, and Dan Miglin were here, as well as Brad Slagle was here a little bit earlier as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, chatting with us. We very much appreciate it, and we got the full gamut for you here this week.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night is must-watch TV. You need to be here if you're not on track. It is the Venom Truck Series from Mount Panorama. Trucks at Bathurst tomorrow night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. There's no more running, no more hiding. It is inevitable. Trucks at Bathurst tomorrow. Wednesday night, the Daredevil Series is at Iowa, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. For that one, Thursday night, the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series regular season finale from Darlington is on tap at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday, we will not be broadcasting live for the Michigan Art Challenge. That will be tape delayed to Labor Day Monday, which is the reason we're not racing next week with the Formula Super Series. We're back in 2 weeks from Aragorn, at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time in a couple of weeks. So we'll hope to see you there. Thank you to Jay Selmants Motorsports Art for sponsoring tonight's Catalan Grand Prix. Again, check out Joey's Instagram channel. The @ is in the description of this video. Thank you to him very much. Thank you to 40 Racewear. Thank you to GoSquadra. Thank you to the entire Formula Super Series admin team for everything that they do here for the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Thank you to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. That is all we got for you here tonight until we meet again here from Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. I am Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Mitch Welker on taking his first career FSS Grand Prix victory. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.